Hello, and welcome back to Fair Fight North Carolina with Scott Peoples. I'm your host, Bobby Jones. And Scott, you had some famous people, famous politicians, one from Texas in particular, talking about the science, the art, the dark magic of gerrymandering, which, of course, has engulfed North Carolina here the last decade and a half minimum.
Right.
Beto O'Rourke hit the Sunday talk circuits talking about this in detail because he realizes how serious this is across the country. Can you just talk a little bit about what he said and how this applies directly to North Carolina?
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Bobby. Beto was here in Charlotte just last week, talking to got a really large crowd here talking about, the gerrymandering situation in North Carolina and our upcoming state Supreme Court race that's going to, play such a big role in that. And, talking about his home state, kind of what sparked it was in the news where the Trump administration pretty much just came out and gave Governor Abbott the order that they want him to call a special session to, redraw the maps even further in Texas, to rig it even further. It's already one of the most heavily gerrymandered states for Republicans, but they did some analysis. The technology today around gerrymandering is so insane that, you can get real evil and creative with it, and so they think they could get as many as 5 more seats out of Texas to try and hold off what I think they see as an incoming blue wave in 2026. And of course, Governor Abbott, being the good foot soldier he is for MAGA, is going to try and oblige. So this has kind of brought up, a national conversation of, okay, Democrats are the party that wants to end gerrymandering. I think that's a fact. You can look going back to the start of the decade. They tried to pass the For the People Act in the 2021 session. Then Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema were not for ending the filibuster or even having a carve out for just voting rights legislation, even though there was a big push from the Democratic Party. Now I think anyone running for Senate on the Democratic Party knows that you kind of run at least on a platform of ending the filibuster, at least for voting rights, if not altogether. But they've put forward the Freedom to Vote Act, the John Lewis Rights Advancement Act, and as recently as just last year, Senator Klobuchar put up a Redistricting Reform Act trying to, call for fair maps and not have mid-decade redistricting. But it's always been, knocked down by the Republicans. So it's definitely, a fact that the Democrats want to end gerrymandering, but
I think you kind of nailed it. The gloves have been off on the Republican Party when it comes to gerrymandering because they do realize their ideas are now in the minority and they're willing to do whatever it takes to maintain their power. And the question is, do the Democrats take their gloves off too with the hopes of stopping it and then restoring proper balance to it? It is quite the conundrum, but needless to say, the push by the right as far as discounting people's vote or disproportionately counting their votes needs to be addressed. And North Carolina has been in the limelight for this for a while.